Hey guys, Karibo Bros here. We've got another deck profile from the Carden Regional. Today we're with Danny. Where did you come?
I came third.
Third. So what did you go? X1?
X1.
Yeah. X1. So what were your matchups like?
So game one, which is my first loss, the only loss was
The tactical loss.
Yeah, Sky Striker Mirror.
Okay.
So I like doing this. Just lose game one, so you've got easier matchups all the way through. I mean, yeah, didn't work out when it still ended up coming against Jay Quincy. But alas, so after the Sky Striker loss, I played 3 Salamangreats, beat all of them.
What's the matchup like? What was the matchup against like with Salamangreat?
So game one, it's sort of like a coin toss. After that, I think what I've got on my side is just it's a blowout in the matchups, and there are a few little tacks that I've got here and there that I'll explain throughout the profile that really just made the matchup so much easier.
So let's walk through your deck profile and just
Okay, let's do this. So this is sort of standard, but there are a few like little things here and there. So start off with the monsters. 3 Ray.
This is where Father criticises us for explaining why Ray is so important to the deck.
Yeah, so I'm just going to skip over
Yeah,
that.
you're going to skip over that.
3 of what I feel is the best hand trap, Ash Blossom.
Yep.
And the fact that she is a fire is extremely relevant.
Is that because of...
So coming up against Salamangreats,
Yeah.
it's brilliant because there's a card I've got in the extra deck that you'll see that's got a lot of synergy. And the amount of times I was locked under rivalry, so I was only allowed fire, and I would just be able to go into my Ash Blossom and a Kagari, go into a Phoenix, and then pop their stuff.
Yeah.
Or, you know, Widow Anchor, one of their monsters, normal summon Ash, Phoenix, get rid of the rivalry, and then just be able to play on. And it hits everything in the meta. So, yeah, I think that playing 3 is just the correct answer. So, then move these up. We've got 2 Ghost Ogre.
Just 2?
Yeah, so I was playing the 3rd in the main, I was testing that, I was testing the 3rd in the side deck, and I felt that it was better to cut the deck down to 40, and so the 41st card that I took out was the 3rd Ghost Ogre.
How come you went with Ghost Ogre over Effect Veiler, which is like quite prominent at the moment?
So Effect Veiler is in the side, I've got Imperms in the main, which we'll get to, but I think that Ghost Ogre, against all of the big decks, it hits the multi-roll, it hits the Saw Yugioh, it hits Summon Sork, it hits when they just normal summon a Lady Debog, and their face when you drop Ogre on that, they just can't play for the rest of the turn. So I think against all of the big matchups, it's just extremely powerful. The fact that it's a light means that it's sort of less useful in a lot of the matchups though.
Sounds. We don't need to go that in depth because we're on 3 minutes. We've done what, 7 cards?
Mate, I can talk for days. Anyway, now we get to the more standard stuff.
Go on.
3 engage.
Yeah.
This card is broken. Game against Thunder Dragons. Game 3 engaged into engage into engage, and unfortunately, sorry Jake if you're on the off chance watching this, but yeah, it's stupid. It's broken. It needs to get hit. 3 Widow Anchor. This is it's Snatch Steal. It's gorgeous. You play 3. It's correct. 3 Area 0.
A lot of people play 2 of this.
So the issue with the deck can be if you don't start. You've got a lot of 1 and 2 card starters, and once you get your engine going, this deck outgrinds everything. But you need to see a starter. So that's why I'm playing 3 Area 0 and only 2 multi-roll, for the same reason of not playing 3 because it's not a starter. It helps you when you're already in your plays, and it's brilliant against the Salamangreat matchup. I never missed the 3rd at all. If I was going into a second one, I'd already established the board and was already probably going to win. Then 2 Eagle Booster. Most lists are playing 2. It's amazing when they try and fusion of fire. You just save your stuff, saving it from battle, so you can basically just live another turn. Being able to just sit on Boral Sword or Top Logic Bomber for 4 turns off 2 Eagle Boosters
4 turns.
is just insane.
4 turns.
4 turns.
4 turns.
They're never living that long, but anyway. So now some of the supporting cards, 2 Terraforming, because consistency. 2 Twin Twister. I like main decking them because surprisingly the amount of times I've had to use it as a starter with my own Area 0 is insane. Again, I was testing with 3 in the main, ended up demoting 1 to the side because I was seeing multiple of them too much. I saw this against Salamangreats, I saw it against the Subterra matchup in Game 6, I saw both of them, and it was just a complete and utter blowout. Now for the one-off Sky Striker cards, drones, short cannon, and then I main deck Jamming Waves and Afterburners. Again, Jamming Waves surprisingly can be a starter card, but also if I'm made to go second, every deck I'm coming up against is playing some back row. Or it's a niche situation, but when Thunder Dragon end on Diablos that you can't target, getting 3 spells and grave is relatively easy, so this is one of the few outs that you actually have to Diablos. 40 cards with Upstart, it's another spell, it's a free draw. Rota, and now 3 Foolish Barrel Goods with 1 Metal Focus Fusion. Again, 3 is for consistency because you want to get some sort of starter in your plays, and it has some synergy with one of the cards that I've got on my side deck as well. Then finally for traps, 3 in Perm, nice little 1 German one here. It's necessary going second, it's a blowout going first, so. And then my favourite part of the deck is 2 Summon Limit in the main. This card was a blowout against Salamangreats, against Thunder Dragons. It just helps me control so much, and I'm fine with only summoning 2 per turn, and with a mixture of Area 0 and multi-roll, you can get rid of it whenever you want. So, yeah, that's the main deck, 40 cards.
So how good was the Summon Limit?
Summon Limit was at blowout. It was perfect, it did everything I needed it to, and I would not change it for a thing. It's fantastic.
What set did it come in?
LODT.
That's like an old GX.
It's a really
it's
old
like a
set.
very old GX
Its
set.
only printing has been in common. It's getting a reprint in Ultra in BL. So the next Battle for Legends. So yeah. Anyway, on to extra deck. Pretty standard 3 Kagari. Had this cherries once and that was harsh, but still managed to grind through it. 3 Shizuku. This came up quite a lot. Only 2 Hayate and 1 Kaina. I see a lot of people playing 3 Hayate, and I've never found the grind game where I've needed a 3rd one. I would rather have something a little bit spicy, and that is Heater. This is specifically for the Salamangreat matchups, but it is absolutely phenomenal. Being able to summon this using their stuff, or using just taking one of theirs, or your Ash, your Kagari, being able to go in this, then special another one of their monsters, just allows you very, very easy access into Bomber Dragon or Borrow Sword.
So why Bomber Dragon over Boverload?
Because if I'm going for Borrow Load, well, I've got 2 situations. Either I'm trying to kill them this turn, in which case I'm going Borrow Sword and I'm going to output loads of damage, or they've got loads of stuff in the main monster zone, or I want to control and sort of stop them from being able to do something, and that's where Bomber Dragon is. So I summoned this against Salamangreat, and that was game over. There is never a situation when I think I would go into Borrow Load over one of these 2. Because if I've got the 3 monsters necessary to make one, I'm probably going for Borrow Sword and killing them. And then
Nightmare package.
Phoenix MVP of everything that wasn't Sky Striker. The amount of times it outed back row for me was just insane. Being able to make this under rivalry is just brilliant.
Do you ever wish you'd maybe play a second, just either as link fodder or just to get rid of further back row?
No, second one never really came up, because if I'm making it and popping a back row, I'm probably already going to be in an advantageous position from there. And the grind game was never really that bad that I would need another one. Unicorn never came up. Had to write out a translation because it's German, never used it. But it's, yeah, you go Phoenix, you pop one, you go into Unicorn, you shuffle one, it's just more removal.
You think about taking Unicorn out then, or has it just been, like, it's oddly today you've just not used it?
It's just today it wasn't used. I think it's still the correct choice to be in there. I'd still rather over a 3rd Hayate or like a Borrow Load or anything else like that. And then what I disappointingly didn't go into is Ningetsu, because the control that you can do on this every turn once you get it out, and it's so easy against the likes of, well, the Mirror Match or Salamangreats, and then you could just sit there every turn, send any of their stuff away. Again, this is a really good target to just sit on using Eagle Booster. But yeah, really like it. Never came up today, but definitely probably wouldn't change it. And then finally, if we go into the side deck, this is where my deck probably differs a little bit. So 3D Decro. this is amazing.
Yeah, especially when you're playing a lot of Salad Buzz.
Yeah, so playing like half my matchups were Salmangre. It was fantastic in them. If I'd drawn it against Sky Striker, it's brilliant because I've had it played against me and I lost 3 engages in one match to DD Crow. It happens, you know. Luckily, it still managed to win the match, but it's a fantastic card. I think the utility it's got is brilliant right now.
Are we usually siding out, or was it deck dependent?
So I've got sort of set things depending on each deck, but I'll go through that once I've been through the entire sort of side deck. So then we got 2 Veiler. Only ever sided in 2. Didn't really come up that much because I don't know, just a mixture of didn't draw it and didn't play decks that it was sort of that heavy against. The 3rd Twin Twister definitely came up fantastic. And then paired that up with, when going first, 2 Heavy Stormbuster. Never saw it because I never had a game 3 when I really needed it, but it's great. Dino Wrestler package, 2 Pankratops and 1 World Dino Wrestling. Now, I put this in rather than a 3rd Pankratops because it means that you can actually special out from deck, because you can either search this with Terraforming, you can send off Foolish Burial Goods. I actually used it for Twin Twisted Discard Fodder and then banished it special 1 from deck. It's a great out if you can get it off against sort of Thunder Dragon, Salmangrates. It's just a really good utility, and I think it's better than playing a 3rd Pankratops. Then finally, the 3rd Summon Limit, incredible, don't need to go in there anymore. And there can only be one, otherwise known as GG Salmangrates. Going second, I would still side this in against Salmangrates and just blow away their board. It was fantastic, they couldn't play under it, and yeah, this was probably the best card in my side deck.
Won you a few games?
It won 2 of my 3 Salmangrate matches.
So is there anything you think you will be taking out? Anything?
Honestly, I'm very, very happy with everything. There isn't much I would have changed in the deck.
Maybe win a few more dice rolls.
Even then, it was the only game I lost was a Sky Striker Mirror. I made 1 misplay and he punished me for that. But it happens, and maybe if I'd had the luck of my sort of 5th match when I engaged into engage, might have had a better luck. But
fair play. Thanks for watching, guys. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe.